Now, the Israel Defense Forces claim to have eliminated approximately 150 Hamas terrorists and gained control over Hamas terrorist strongholds in northern Gaza. Among the terrorists eliminated were Ahmed Musa, commander of the Nakba unit, and Omar Al-Handi, commander of a terror platoon entrenched in western Jabalia. Meanwhile, as many as 50,000 Palestinians moved from northern Gaza to southern Gaza through the humanitarian corridors. Palestinians evacuated the northern Gaza after a humanitarian pause in the fighting that the Israel Defense Forces implemented in several neighborhoods in northern Gaza for the first time after pressure from Biden administration. Of course, viewers, this is the latest that we are tracking on the broadcast as far as the Israel and Hamas war is concerned. Meanwhile, joining us on the broadcast is Mr. Sanjeev Srivastava. He's an international affairs expert. Good morning, sir, and thank you so much for joining in on NewsX. So, what do you make of these developments?
Well, Sabri, Israel's war against terrorism, war against terror outfit Hamas is continuously going on, and it will not end until this terror organization Hamas's rule ends in Gaza, and also their terror machine, terror infrastructure, which they have built over the years, is decimated and destroyed. And I think Hamas is going to lose its physical territory the way ISIS lost its physical territory in Raqqa and Mosul during the presidency of Donald Trump. And certainly at this point of time, Israel, which has come under the biggest terror attack on October 7, after that it is not possible for Israel to have any kind of a working relationship with Hamas anymore. And I think it is Israel's obligation also at the same time to decimate and destroy this terror organization. But having said that, let me also say that in this operation, it is also important for the Israeli Defense Forces to do their best to minimize civilian casualties, the humanitarian crisis which is already prevailing there, how to address that humanitarian crisis. That should also be a top priority, which I believe that Israeli Defense Forces are taking care of such situation to the best of their practices. And obviously another issue which is very much there is hostage crisis. So I think this entire situation has to be handled in a responsible way. Also, it is important for the Israel and United States of America and other countries to ensure that this Israel's war against terrorism remains in Gaza only. It does not. It must not get escalated at the regional level. And to prevent that kind of regional escalation of this conflict is one of the top priorities of the major powers. United States of America is very much trying its best. Secretary of State Antony Blinken has been visiting Middle East region just to ensure to its best that this conflict does not escalate at the regional level. So I think this war is very much going on, but yes, it will not end till the Hamas rules ends in Gaza and Hamas terror infrastructure is substantially decimated and destroyed.
Right, so absolutely. Of course, Israel is putting a very aggressive step forward as far as the war is concerned. But what do you think, sir? How long will this war protract?
This war could be a long war because this entire area where the Israeli Defense Forces are operating is an urban area. It's a built-up areas operation, which is a very complicated and a tough battle, obviously. But since the Israeli Defense Forces, they are very much capable of dealing with this urban warfare scenarios, and they are a professional army. They are operating based on the hard intelligence. So this process might take a longer time, and that's what has been said by the Israeli Prime Minister from day one, that it could be a long drawn process, it could be a complex war, it could be a tough war. And also, Sabri, it is also important for the Israeli Defense Forces to minimize civilian casualty. They will have to differentiate between Hamas terrorists and civilians. And Hamas is using civilians of Gaza as human shields. They are not allowing common people to move towards southern areas. So and also they have created their infrastructure of tunnels, etc., under the hospitals, under the schools, under several mosques, etc. So all such complex web of terror machine which the Hamas has created over the years, it will take time to identify and to decimate and destroy it. So I think it could be a long drawn process. It is obviously a complex war. A lot of things are to be taken care of, such as regional escalation, hostage crisis, humanitarian crisis. So that is why, in my view, this war would be a complex one. It is a complex war, and it will take a longer time than expected. But yes, one thing is quite certain, that Hamas must be destroyed. Hamas, like terror organizations, whether it is such organizations are in Gaza or in Pakistan or in Canada or elsewhere,
absolutely.
they should not have any place.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.